Hello everyone. In the previous video, I have discussed about two topics. One was bioethics and the other one biopatent. Now here in this video, I am going to discuss about biopiracy. Biopiracy. In the previous video, I had discussed that what happens here, that a person has searched out a method, let us say, or invented something new. So the person is granted a patent. The researcher or the scientist has searched out something new, is it right? So that person is granted patent by the government, so that other unauthorized persons cannot use that, and the economic benefit that is going to be obtained from this particular invention should be made available to the researcher only, or with the permission of researcher, let us say. Now coming to this here, if suppose that I had given example of Mr. A, let us take the same example here, that Mr. A has discovered something new, a new method has been discovered by Mr. A, and in that, let us say Mr. B or Mr. C or anybody else has taken the same method or same product, they are some other person is producing, or the same method, everything is similar, or some changes are done in the process or the invention of Mr. A, that was done by Mr. A. So in that case, that is considered as what? Biopiracy. Here we will be discussing some cases are there where what happens, some other, it is been used, let us say it was used or it was being used in a particular country for many years, but if some other country, that is, let us say some other country is going to grant or take a patent for that, how far it is legal, how far it is going to be acceptable. So that is all considered under biopiracy. There has been a public concern over here. There has been a public concern that there are certain companies which are being granted patent for a product and technology that makes use of genetic material, the plants and other biological resources, which has been long utilized or identified and developed, and it was used by farmers and indigenous people of a specific region or country. Here we will be basically talking about the use of Indian product here, basmati rice, let us say, neem, the use of turmeric in medicine. It has been under use from long time in India. And what happens here, that this medicinal property has been identified from a long time here. But if some other country gets the patent for basmati rice, let us say, it is originally developed and has been used in India. But in this case, we will discuss after some time how America got a patent for basmati rice. And in that case, what happens? It is a product of India, but Indians have to take permission from America in order to use that, in order to grow basmati rice in their field. So that's why here what happened, there is a growing public concern that what certain companies are there, they are being granted patent for some of the products and technologies which is under use, which has been identified, it has been developed and used by farmer from a long time. Many generations we have been using. And some organizations over here, we will talk first about this, that there are some organizations or multinational companies, they exploit and they exploit or otherwise they take the patent for biological resources of some other nation. What I gave example of basmati rice, neem and also of turmeric, This is all of India only. But that has been patented by some other multinational company of other countries, let us say European countries or America. So here it is a concern of biopiracy, or that is related to biopiracy. Now here we have to understand about two different types of countries here, or two different cases over here. We have to just compare. We have to compare here developed countries and दूसरे साइड पे developing या फिर underdeveloped countries. Now developed countries के पास क्या है? They are rich in technology and they are also very well to do in financial resources. They are rich first of all in technology and also in financial resources. And on the other way, when we see the developing or underdeveloped countries, they are poor in technology and financial resources. Poor in both technology and also in financial resources. The second point, in case of developed countries, they are poor in biodiversity and traditional knowledge related to a particular bioresource. They are poor in, means they do not have biodiversity. They do not have traditional knowledge which is related to a particular bioresource. On the other hand, developing or underdeveloped countries, they are rich in biodiversity and also they are rich in traditional knowledge which is related to the bioresources. So in this case, once again let us see, developed countries के पास क्या है? They are rich in technology and financial resources, but they are poor in biodiversity and traditional knowledge which is related to bioresources. In case of the developing or underdeveloped countries, they are poor in technology and financial resources, but they are rich in biodiversity and traditional knowledge which is related to the bioresource. So what happens here? That these developing country or developed countries or the organizations or multinational companies, they exploit and or they take the patent of some biological resources of other nation without permission, that also without proper authorization from the countries concerned. मतलब इंडिया का है, इंडिया से परमिशन नहीं लिया, उन्होंने पेटेंट करा लिया. Is it right? So that is a case of biopiracy over here. So by using the modern method, ये developed countries क्या करते हैं? By using the modern methods, they can exploit the resources of other countries and they can save their time, क्योंकि उनके पास वो है नहीं, लेकिन फिर भी उसके लिए क्या हो जाएंगे? They are famous now. They have got the right to use that particular plant or animal which was or which is present in some other country, plus it has been underused for so many years, but still these modern methods which are available or the technology which is available in developed countries, they are able to save their time and energy and money and they become more and more prosperous day by day. क्यों? क्योंकि वो दूसरे का क्या कर रहे हैं? अपने नाम पे पेटेंट करा ले रहे हैं. And legally now they have right for that. Now let us take some examples here, examples of biopiracy. As I mentioned earlier, 3 plants we will be discussing. एक राइस है, पहला बासमती राइस का है, दूसरा यहाँ बात करेंगे टर्मरिक का और फिर बाद में नीम के बारे में बात करेंगे. The first one let us see here is about the rice. You know that rice is an important food grain and the presence of rice in Asia, that also Asia's agricultural history की बात कर रहे हैं. It goes to thousands of years. मतलब कितना पुराना है, सोचने वाली बात है. Thousands of years in Asia's agricultural history. There has been estimated 2 lakh, this is 2 lakh varieties of rice in India alone. The diversity of rice in India is one of the richest in the world. और अगर हम बात करें बासमती राइस की, तो बासमती राइस में एक अलग सा प्रॉपर्टी है दैट इट हैज़ अ डिस्टिंक्ट एरोमा, मतलब उसका स्मेल के बारे में बात करें, इट हैज़ अ distinct kind of flavor. And there are 27 documented varieties of basmati which is grown in India. मतलब documented मतलब ये हुआ कि उसके documents available हैं 27 different varieties of basmati that has been grown in India. And about this basmati rice, it has been mentioned in ancient text, यानी books में है, folklore and poetry में भी mention किया गया है. And it has been grown for centuries. What happened here in 1997, September 1997 में अमेरिका की एक कंपनी थी, अमेरिका की एक कंपनी का नाम क्या है, राइस टेक. दे गॉट द पेटेंट राइट ऑन बासमती राइस लाइन्स. देखो क्या बात कर रहे हैं यहाँ पर. दिस कंपनी राइस टेक ऑफ अमेरिका, it got the patent rights on basmati pure lines and grains. So as a result of that, now no one else can use these basmati lines. Basmati rice lines or grains cannot be used by any other countries without their permission. And this patent was granted from the US Patent and Trademark Office. Now this allowed the company, just check this allowed the company to sell a new variety of basmati in the US and abroad, US and other countries. और ये न्यू वैरायटी कैसे हुआ, उन्होंने क्या किया, क्रॉसिंग किया किसके साथ, इंडियन बासमती को लिया और उन्होंने क्रॉस कर दिया एक सेमी ड्वार्फ वैरायटी के साथ में. एंड देन दे क्लेम्ड एज एन न्यू इन्वेंशन and a new novelty. Earlier I have discussed about novelties. It should be a new one. पहले से नहीं होना चाहिए. तो उन्होंने क्या किया, बासमती राइस को, इंडियन बासमती राइस को एक सेमी ड्वार्फ वेराइटी के साथ क्या किया, क्रॉस कर दिया. एंड फिर उन्होंने क्लेम किया क्या कि दिस इज एन न्यू इन्वेंशन और इट इज ए नोवेल्टी. सो एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ दैट व्हाट हैपेंड, the patent extends to functional equivalents, implying that other people selling basmati rice could be restricted from parent. देखो क्या बोल रहे हैं, अब ये पेटेंट इस तरह से उनको ग्रांट मिल गया, यानी ग्रांट किया गया कि other people who are selling basmati rice could be restricted by this patent. तो as a result of that क्या हुआ, उन्होंने बायोपायरेसी किया. Okay, which was later on solved here, but it took long time. Then several attempts have been made to patent uses, product and processes based on Indian traditional herbal medicine. देखो Indian traditional herbal medicine मतलब ये हुआ, यहाँ दो के बारे में बात करेंगे, टर्मरिक एंड नीम के बारे में, that it is utilized as a herbal medicine in India. तो इसका भी पेटेंट उन्होंने यानी फॉरेन कंट्रीज में किया गया. चेक करो जरा, ये पहला टर्मरिक के लिए यूएस पेटेंट ऑफिस ग्रांटेड द पेटेंट टू यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ मिसिसिपी मेडिकल सेंटर. यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ मिसिसिपी मेडिकल सेंटर को क्या किया गया, पेटेंट ग्रांट किया यूएस पेटेंट ऑफिस ने. किस बात के लिए, फॉर यूज ऑफ टर्मरिक इन वुंड हीलिंग. यूज ऑफ टर्मरिक इन वुंड हीलिंग which has been already known and already being used for centuries in India. The patent was challenged by Dr. R.A. Mashelkar. Check करना जरा, Dr. R.A. Mashelkar, who is an Indian scientist, and he has worked for 11 years as the Director General of CSIR. I don't know if you know about CSIR, that is Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR. इन्होंने काम किया है डायरेक्टर जनरल की तरह. And so many other places he has worked. Now, so here what I am talking here, that this patent was challenged by Dr. R.A. Mashelkar, and after 4 years, after 4 months, 4 years नहीं, 4 month के बाद ये पेटेंट जो ग्रांट किया गया था यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ मिसिसिपी मेडिकल सेंटर को, उसको कैंसिल किया गया. After 4 months, this patent was cancelled as it was established that turmeric has been used as healing agent in India for centuries. एंड इन केस ऑफ नीम, यहाँ पे यूरोपियन पेटेंट ऑफिस जो कि म्यूनिच में है, उन्होंने ग्रांट कर दिया पेटेंट एक कंपनी को, WR ग्रेस एंड कंपनी को। WR ग्रेस एंड कंपनी को क्या किया इन्होंने, यूरोपियन पेटेंट ऑफिस ने पेटेंट दे दिया। किस बात के लिए? फॉर फंगीसाइडल यूज ऑफ नीम ऑयल, मतलब नीम ऑयल यूज कर सकते हैं फंगल ग्रोथ के को रोकने के लिए, फंगीसाइडल यूजेस ऑफ नीम ऑयल। नाउ दिस नॉलेज also is known for long time in India. So at that time here in 1996, Vandana Shiva challenged this patent, and in 2005 this patent was cancelled. Means it took little longer time here. So that means what? If we are not vigilant, we are not paying attention, then what happens here? Some other people will come and they are going to steal away the idea, the plants, animals, whatever is there. So that's why if we are not vigilant and we do not immediately counter these patent applications like it was done here in case of neem and also in case of turmeric, the other countries or individual may encash our rich legacy and we may not be able to do anything about it. सही बात है, अगर हमने कुछ उसके अगेंस्ट में कुछ नहीं किया तो others are going to get the benefit, we will be left without anything. Traditional knowledge related to bioresources can be exploited to develop modern applications and can also be used to save time, effort and expenditure during their commercialization. ये मैंने पहले बात किया था यहाँ पर when I had discussed about the developed countries and developing और underdeveloped country के केस में। तो अब क्या है कि एक ग्रोइंग कंसर्न हो गया, मतलब कि लोगों ने रियलाइज किया है, करना शुरू किया है, दैट इज रियलाइजेशन ऑफ इनजस्टिस। देयर हैज बीन ग्रोइंग realization of injustice, inadequate compensation and benefit sharing between developed and developing countries. मतलब जो डेवलप्ड है वो और ज़्यादा डेवलप्ड होते जा रहे हैं, जो डेवलपिंग है या अंडर डेवलप्ड है वो वहीं रह जा रहे हैं। क्यों? क्योंकि दूसरे लोग क्या कर सकते हैं इसमें, इस केस में दे कैन टेक अवे द रिसोर्सेज एंड दे कैन क्लेम इट इज देयर ओन, एंड देयरफॉर some countries are developing some rules or the laws in order to prevent the unauthorized use or exploitation of the biological resources or the traditional knowledge that they are having. मतलब किसी एक कंट्री के पास ये बायोलॉजिकल रिसोर्स भी है, उनके पास ट्रेडिशनल नॉलेज भी है, तो वो कैसे बचा सकते हैं? तो उन्होंने क्या किया है, अपना शुरू किया है कि कुछ लॉ बनाने के लिए, लॉज बनाने, सो दैट दे कैन प्रिवेंट अदर्स फ्रॉम stealing away or using that idea, using that biological resource. In India also, the parliament has cleared second amendment of Indian patent bill, जिससे क्या होगा, कुछ प्रिवेंशन किया जा सकता है। प्रिवेंशन ऑफ व्हाट? टेकिंग द पेटेंट फॉर एनी प्लांट और एनिमल or the biological research that is present in our country. Is it right here? So what happened in Indian Parliament has cleared the second amendment of Indian Patent Bill that takes into consideration including the patent terms as emergency provision and the research and development initiatives. So that was about the biopiracy. That was about the biopiracy. Now small topic, biosafety issue. I had discussed little bit earlier about biosafety issues. That is, when this biotechnology uses, when these uses are made, and that also by modifying the genetic material of plants and animals. And when this modified, that is genetically modified plants or animals, when they are, let us say, introduced into the atmosphere or otherwise into the biosphere here. Now what kind of behavior they are going to pose or what kind of condition will arise, situation will arise, we cannot predict that now. So that's why here we are talking about biosafety. This is the prevention of large scale of loss of बायोलॉजिकल इंटेग्रिटी, मतलब जो पहले से है उनकी खुद की अपनी एक पहचान है वो खोनी नहीं चाहिए. एंड दैट फोकस इज ऑन बोथ ओवर हियर इकोलॉजी एंड ऑल्सो ऑन द ह्यूमन हेल्थ. इकोलॉजी यानी कि एनवायरनमेंट से रिलेटेड हो गया एंड दूसरा ह्यूमन हेल्थ के बारे में, दैट ह्यूमन हेल्थ मे नॉट बी और शुड नॉट बी अफेक्टेड. So that's why over here under this biosafety, main emphasis or main what to say attraction or main focus is been given to facilitate and implement the biosafety procedures. And there are some guidelines that are developed so that what happens, the genetically modified organisms and product in research can be limited. And for that earlier we have discussed about GEAC, that is genetic engineering, just a minute, here it was there, genetic engineering approval committee, that is an organization that has been set up by the Indian government to control, is it right, to decide or take the decision related to the genetical modifications. Now let us see some of the points here, that there is a fear of transferring some allergens or toxin to human and animals as a side effect. It can be possible here that some allergens that causes allergy, some poisonous substances which are called as toxin, can be transferred to human beings and to the animals. And as a result of that, what can happen, you can just imagine. There is a risk of changing the fundamental nature of vegetables. Here we are talking about related to the plants, and these genetical modification may pose a harmful effect on the biodiversity I have been discussing earlier and have an adverse impact on the environment. What about the pollution then? Here we are suffering, or otherwise you can say dealing with the air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution. Now here it is something new, that is the gene pollution here. That is, there may be a harmful effect of biodiversity on and have an adverse effect on environment, and after that there is a risk of gene pollution due to the transfer of new genes into related wild species through the नेचुरल आउटक्रॉसिंग. मतलब नेचुरल आउटक्रॉसिंग में अगर याद करो चैप्टर नंबर 9 में हमने बात किया था, व्हाट हैपेंड, वाइल्ड वेराइटीज आर कलेक्टेड, वेरिएबिलिटी इज कलेक्टेड. So in that, if suppose that some harmful genes are, let us say, transferred on into these wild species, and if that results into some other way what we have desired, what we have aimed to develop, if that does not work, then what will happen, this may result into a development of, let us say here in case of the weeds we are talking. weeds मतलब ये क्या है, unwanted plant that grows in between our agricultural crops. तो ये क्या बात कर रहे हैं, सुपर वीड्स डेवलप हो सकते हैं. एंड सुपर वीड्स डेवलप हो गए मतलब क्या हुआ, दे आर गोइंग टू ग्रो मोर फास्टर. ऑलरेडी वी आर डीलिंग विद दिस वीड्स, दे आर नॉट ग्रोन, हमको उनकी ज़रूरत नहीं है, लेकिन फिर भी हमारे एग्रीकल्चरल क्रॉप जो है उनके बीच में ये ग्रो कर जाते हैं. एंड दे कम्पीट फॉर sunlight, they compete for minerals from the soil, they compete for the water. And if suppose over here that a super weed is somehow developed, then this will be able to grow more faster. They will be competing for the water, mineral salts and also for the sunlight, and they will grow much faster, and at the end they will be of no use to us. And as a result over here what we are talking, that they may also become resistant to weedicide. मतलब weedicide कुछ केमिकल्स हैं जो स्प्रे किया जाता है फील्ड में, so that the weeds can be controlled, they should not be found to be growing in the field. They may also bring about changes in the natural evolutionary pattern also at the end. Or this is little bit far away, but this also can be thought over here, that this may also result as a concern. Is it right? And this is, we are talking about what? Biosafety. Now when we are talking about the genetically modified plant, let us say here, we have been discussing last 2 points में यही बात किया है, genetically modified plant ही बात कर रहे थे. तो genetically modified plant could pose some biological and ecological risk that can be discussed in 2-3 points, let us say here. पहला ऑलरेडी बात कर चुके हैं हम, क्या की प्रोडक्शन ऑफ सम टॉक्सिन और अदरवाइज यू कैन से एलर्जिक मेटाबोलाइट, एलर्जिन और टॉक्सिन्स पहला. दूसरी बात करें हम अगर, तो अनएक्सपेक्टेड ससेप्टिबिलिटी टू पैथोजेन, मतलब कोई डिजीज कॉजिंग ऑर्गेनिज्म है, उसके अगेंस्ट में या उसके लिए सम ससेप्टिबल मतलब डिजीज आराम से कॉज हो जाए. एंड देन transmission of a new trait or character to a related weeds, we have discussed about that, right? And the last one, what I want to say is, the ecosystem may be disturbed by what? By dispersal, persistence, or otherwise the changes or altered reaction to parasites. Some of the organisms are there, they are living as parasites. Some organisms are living as symbionts or symbiotic organisms, and still some others are there who are surviving in the soil by competition, that we will be discussing in the environment chapter later on. So that was about the little bit about biosafety. So that is the end of this chapter. Thank you.